like it. Hey YouTubers, Dre Crawford, Cover One Drones here today on my fourth and final tip for the week on drone and construction. As you see where I'm at today, I am on an airport site. This is one of the big sites we have in my city. I'm gonna swing around here so you can look at the building. If you can guess what building it is. If you did not guess it by the colors there, that tells me one or two things. You don't order online, and especially from Amazon, because this is called the Amazon Air Facility. And what I'm standing on right now, what you see in the background, is the actual tarmac, brand new tarmac that was laid out for the aircraft to taxi up here, right up to this warehouse, and receive and deliver all your orders that you put in. Okay? Now my talk today is going to be about LAANC and COAs. And a lot of this is going to be my opinion. For most part, and some of it's going to be from things I've heard, things I've encountered as far as dealing with LAANC and having COAs. Now I'm going to do with LAANC because it's one that sticks in my craw a little bit here, is that doing the work that I do, LAANC is not very practical for me. I visit anywhere between 8 to 10 construction sites in a day, and if I had to sit here and try to get LAANC for every site that I visit, because I might do flight operations, I'll spend more time on my device trying to get authorization than actually doing my job. So that's not very practical for me. Overall, LAANC is not exactly what it's all touted to be as we anticipate it to be, and there's a lot of things need to be corrected in it. I've heard too many stories of people go out and they try to get LAANC authorization and they have issues where they never get a approval back to them, or no response at all, or for some reason it says they're a LAANC enabled airport and come to find out it's not. So one thing, we need the FAA to step up to the challenge to make sure that its list of LAANC enabled airports to be accurate, and also using the software of LAANC, because just about every software out there is now becoming LAANC enabled, or on the software side. You can use Drone Deploy to get LAANC authorization. You can use Kitty Hawk, you use AirMap, even Drone Up has authorizations that you can use to their app when you go out and do missions and so forth. So I'm pretty sure other ones like Drone Base and Droners.io will soon be following, where you can get be able to use LAANC off of their app-based software to apply for it. But the things that come to my mind is the fact that if it's not accurate. Now what I've learned to do if I'm going somewhere out of my area is go ahead and apply for the LAANC authorization at least 72 hours in advance. That way I have time to find out if it's going to be approved or not. Because it doesn't make any sense to go out to a site and you're trying to fly in controlled airspace and then you get disapproval. You wasted your time, you wasted the client's time, and everything else involved. So LAANC needs to pick up the pace and get on board and really push itself to what it's supposed to be, especially with remote ID coming on board in the next year or so. Now COAs, I've been fortunate enough to have a couple of COAs for myself here in the city where I work and live in, and also in the neighboring city. The COA is basically a direct FAA coverage of airspace, and what I recommend for people, when you apply for a COA, get it for wide area. That means you're not having to reapply and recall and all this kind of stuff every time you go, so especially in the area that you do a lot of work in. You know, it's only to your benefit to get one for a wide area, and that's what I recommend. That's what I have, is wide area COAs. That way the only thing I got to do is make a phone call to the local tower, ask them, say, is it okay for me to conduct UAS operations? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell me go right ahead. Call them, they ask me how long I'm going to be in the air, usually about 20 minutes to use a battery for, and then let them know when I'm done and know the airspace is clear. Because over my shoulder right now, the building way in the background behind me is the sheriff's helicopter air station. Now anyone who's worked around helicopters know they take off, and especially law enforcement, they take off and go any direction they want to go. They take off, make a left, make a right, wherever they got to go. They're responding to a call. to 8 officers on the ground. So they're ones that be important when you fly close to an airport, that you have to watch out for them, because they take off. They're usually no more than about 200 feet, 300 feet in the air, and they'll gain altitude as they go off in the direction they're heading. So that's one thing you got to watch out for when you're flying near airports and so forth. But back to a COA, it benefits me to have that because of the fact that I do make so many stops, and I can be in the air several times a day throughout the city that's covered under the controlled airspace. So that's one thing I encourage maybe the FAA to look at, is the fact that maybe commercial pilots may be able to apply for COAs even though the airport might be LAANC enabled, because having to go through LAANC each and every time, it's more of a liability than it is an asset. This is an occasional thing, you're going to one spot and that's it, but like I said, I make 8 to 10 stops a day. And I say the majority of my city is covered under Class D airspace. So it does not help me at all if I had to go through LAANC for every location I have to stop at. And some of the locations are no more than a block apart. So here I am, Dre. Once again, I haven't said it all week, but I wish everybody please subscribe and hang on for the ride. Once again, this is Dre with Recovery One Drones. Have a good weekend, folks. Talk to you later.